Hello, my name is Andrea Hess. I'm an intuitive consultant and the author of the book Unlock Your Intuition. In the previous videos, we've talked a little bit about why it serves us to meditate, some of those real-world applications, and also how the mind will react. So now let's talk about how to first of all start a meditation practice. Okay, it's very simple. Meditation is such a great thing. There's no expensive equipment required. It travels with you. I mean, there's really no downside except that starting and imposing that mental discipline can be hard, right? The mind doesn't like it. So let's talk about a beginning meditation practice. I would definitely suggest that you do not start with 15 minutes or with a half hour. Please start with 5 minutes. It's plenty of time. Okay, 5 minutes of meditation every day is really going to create a lot of mental discipline. It really will. And you may even find that just those 5 minutes are hard. Okay, so start with 5 minutes. And if 5 minutes are easy for you, if you're one of those people that already has a fairly quiet mind, great, do 10. But, 10 minutes is, again, plenty. If you're one of those people that swears up and down that you absolutely cannot meditate because your mind is too busy, guess what? Then you have a really undisciplined mind and you need meditation more than anyone else. And please start with 3 minutes. Okay, that's still enough. So 5, if your mind goes nuts on you. 3, if your mind is pretty quiet, try 10. But start small. My favorite meditation practice in the beginning, it's so simple and it's so neutral, is to observe and count the breath. So all you do is sit, you inhale through your nose, you exhale through your mouth, and you count each breath. So you inhale and exhale and that's 1, and you inhale and exhale and that's 2. You want to allow your mind to focus on something. Your mind cannot stop thinking. So we give it something to do. In this case, we give it the opportunity to observe the sensation of the breath. The sensation of the breath as it enters your nostrils, as it exits, the action of breathing in your body, your lungs expanding and contracting. And we also give the mind something to say because a lot of us have very chatty minds. They keep talking to us. So we give it something to say, the numbers, the counting of the breath. And that can really help cut down the mental chatter. So in combination, we're actually giving the mind quite a lot to do. Count the breaths, observe the breaths. The mind will still get bored really quickly, but that's kind of the point. We don't want to entertain the mind. We want to focus it and discipline it. So that's a very, very simple meditation technique. I've mentioned mantra. Mantra is the repetition of a phrase. And that phrase becomes the focal point. If you're a yoga practitioner, there's a lot of Sanskrit mantras that you might be familiar with. But really, you can also take a prayer from just about any tradition and turn it into a mantra. So say the Lord's Prayer or the prayer of St. Francis, those can be very nice mantras. When you do work with a mantra, you want to make sure that all of your mind is reciting the mantra in your head. If you know the mantra really well, you can kind of rattle it off in the front of your brain, and in the back of your brain, your own thoughts will still be entertaining themselves. That's not really what we want. We want our entire mind to focus itself on the task that we give it. Now what happens when you meditate is that your mind will run off. And sometimes that takes all of 10 seconds. Off it goes. Towards what we're going to have for dinner, or what you're wearing, or how uncomfortable your pants are, or whether you're doing this right, whatever it wants to think. Success in meditation is not about staying focused. It's about noticing that the mind has wandered and bringing it back. Every time you bring your mind back to your breath, to the counting, you have won. You have disciplined the mind. You've become its master. So it's great if you can keep your mind focused on one thing for 5 minutes. That's fantastic. It's hard to do. Your mind will wander, so expect that. And if you've got a really busy mind, then you have more opportunities for success than anyone else, okay? Because your mind is going to run off, and you're going to have the opportunity to bring it back right away, and maybe then it goes again. Again, you bring it back. More success. That's the point of meditation. Success in meditation is noticing that the mind has wandered and bringing it back, imposing that discipline on it. So keep that in mind when you start, and start very small with 5 minutes at a time. My name is Andrea Hess. My website is empoweredsoul.com. I hope you stop by and visit me on my blog. Thank you.